What up, Nitro Nation? No, that is not being run in the Baja just yet. It's going to be third in line. First in line is what's in that box. Second is what's in here. Welcome all muggy maniacs, buggy maniacs, truggy maniacs. Did I say muggy maniacs? Man, these two classics right here, I gotta get these things going again. I got too much stuff sitting and not enough wrapping. That. Good thing is, we've got a whole pile of modified engines that are gonna be going in all my whips. So there's plenty of modified Nitro engines to go around. Okay? But first is first. Oh, and welcome all 5th scale Insaniacs. Yeah, Monster Truck Maniacs. I don't know what happened to that Kyosho USA 1. I guess that thing was just a quick fix. I don't hear nothing about it now. Anyway, Techno Buggy is cleaned up, refreshed, ready to rip, awaiting one of those modified engines. It's like, please, let me have that one. Also, Mugen Chuggy is also waiting for one. Look, there ain't anything in there, so not sure what I'm going to put in those two vehicles. Obviously, that's going to probably get a .21, although I was thinking of putting the Roma .25 modified inside the Techno. So, obviously, we have an engine to unbox. Shout out to Mr. Wade Shorter at SRE Customs. Now this engine was the bone stock 30.5 King motor that you've seen me run not too long ago in the Baja. Man, every time I work on this Baja, I want to throw it in the trash. I can't emphasize that enough. I was just talking to Wade earlier this evening. Was telling him, man, these things are so fun to drive. They're a blast. It's a two-wheel drive. It spins in circles because it's, two-wheel drive. And then when you get it home or whatever and you start wrenching on it, you're like, why in the F do I own this thing? It's the worst. If you don't like to wrench, again, do not buy a 5B Baja. Roven, King motor, doesn't matter. If you don't like wrenching, turning wrenches, tinkering, whatever you want to call it, don't buy one of these, because you will quit the hobby. Trust me, these things suck to work on. They remind me so much of the Savages and the HPI. It just they're the worst things to work on, but they're fun as hell to drive. And they're cool to upgrade, and you can dump tons of money. I mean, by the time we get the Taylor engine in this and all the other couple other goodies, I'll probably be into this thing as much as that. This thing's pushing $4,000, and we're going to put another grand into it, as I mentioned. That will be coming in the next couple months. We're going full RC Max chassis. We're going to go the RC Max front and rear bulkheads, inside diff cups, aluminum, and the shock tower. It's going to run me about basically $1,000. It's going to run $1,000 to do all that. That will be the last and final thing that I do to this thing. And I'm seriously contemplating buying another one. Why? Because, again, let me refresh your memory. This is the baddest 5th scale race kit, and the only race kit that you can build ever made, until somebody comes out with something different. Brand new wing-a-ding-ding chicken wing on the back. We're going to get into this in a second. Let's get back to this. So we've got Nitros to unbox as well. Okay, being that we are going to unbox these 3 engines, these are the 3 that I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, give me a second, I'm going to open them all up, 3 of them. Let's take a look at them first, how sexy these things are. These will be bad mothers. I can't wait to run them. First up is the, bam, look at that baby, R5R Team Edition. Now this is the next R5R, you guys know or don't know, has a different line of a whole line. The R5R Racer, I think, is the entry to these .21 Reds budget. Then you have the R5R regular one, which is this one. Okay, I have both. R5R and the Racer. And I have a Team Edition too, but I have the older one. I think you guys have seen it. This is the first one of the first modified, actually the first modified 21. RB Mods. R5R Team Edition. This thing still has about 5 gallons left in it before it needs to be re-pinched, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I've got so many engines now that I don't really need to re-pinch it. I'd rather do a shelf it, conversational piece. You know, it's got a brand new connecting rod in it, though. I did replace the connecting rod. It's got about 15 gallons of Byron's 3011 through that baby. By the way, this engine here, over 5 gallons through it. Never one issue. Okay? If you take care of them, run them clean, don't run them lean. Okay? I run them rich, a little fat on top, always. Okay? Outerwears. That's what I love about the Power Stack. It seals better than the Bartolone Glory Hole. Better than anything. Just because of its design. But anyway, outerwears on here. Outerwears on your engine case. I don't want to because it's so pretty. But I have decided, that's another thing that's coming. I'm going to put the outerwear engine case outerwear on the Taylor. I'm not running, I'm going to protect, I'm not running without it. I don't want to. I really didn't want to do it on the beautiful turtle billet that's on the OBR. But I did it to protect the engine, man. I've never got any dirt in that thing. Outerwear. I can't emphasize it enough. Even on the new Taylor Pulsar with the smaller holes, I'm still going to put one of those protectors on it. So anyway, we'll get into Fiscal in a second. More than likely, hopefully, cross our fingers, this will be an hour video, you guys already know. So pull up a chair, grab a cold one, grab an ice cream, grab a soda, put the kids to bed, record your favorite channel or favorite show that you usually watch because it's going to be a long one. We're going to cover a lot of Nitro. We're going to cover, you know, we got engines to unbox. We've got engines to open up and take a look at. The badass work that Lance at RCR does. Shout out to Lance. Shout out to Wade. Shout out to Dan at OBR. I just got through talking to him. And I will let the cat out of the bag because I really don't care. We're in the works. We're about ready to pull the trigger on another OBR engine. There will be another OBR engine in this cade and another platform. Whether it's a 5B or an MCD or a 30 degree north or a 5T, I don't know. I'm really leaning towards the MCDs. They're expensive, but they're badass. Besides this, it's a race kit that's already built. Again, this is the baddest race kit made because you can build it. It's a kit. It's not a RTR. It's the only one besides the Vedka, Krakens or whatever, but those are giant heavy money pits. Anybody knows that. So anyway, I've been hearing so much about Taylor this and Taylor that and the 35. And you listen, I have one. And again, I'm not knocking Taylor's engines because it's my first Taylor engine. It is a bone stock piston port. It, from what I've seen, looks pretty badass, but I'll be the judge of that. Okay, I'm not going to hold back, blow smoke up nobody's ass, or sugarcoat nothing. I'm going to tell you how it is. And I haven't seen nobody yet run it flat out in one of these. I've seen one person, but everybody's running them in their Bajas. Everybody's running them in their two-wheel drives. Put it in a four-wheel drive. 4 diffs. 38-pound pig. Put it in a 5T. I would love to see that 35 Taylor in a 5T. 4-wheel drive. Not 2-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive. Somebody will. But I will definitely be the first one to go head-to-head. This 35 will square up against that 34 badass right there. And we will see in the next few weeks who is the king of small bores. So I hope Taylor proves me wrong. I really do hope this 35 proves me wrong, but I don't see it. I'll be very, very, very blown away if this engine moves this thing like the Reed does. So anyway, alright, are you guys ready to take a look inside these frickin' badasser engines? Okay, give me a second. So we have the, again, R5R Team Edition. These are all RCR modded, drag mods. There's no race mod. These are full drag mods. Okay, badass 723 Scooteroo. These are the most limited engines Red's ever made. They made 100 of the SV with the green head. They only made 50 of these. Okay, so people that say, oh, these aren't rare, these are all over the place, please, you find me one, I'll give you a $50 finder's fee if you find me one of these brand new, okay, for less than $400. Brand new, less for $400. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $25. PayPal you whatever. Find me this engine, and you can't be the one that owns it, okay? Find me somebody that has this engine. I will give a finder's fee of $25, and I will pay no more than $400, but it has to be brand new. See, this had a little bit of fuel through it. You find me a 723 bone stock Reds in the box, all the packaging, all the paperwork, brand new, for under $400, I'll give you $25. So there you go. That's how I know how rare these are, and that's why I would love to have another one. And it would get modified because I would have no use for it stock. Or I use it for parts. But anyway, I doubt if anybody will find one because I haven't seen one. This one was hard as hell to find. So anyway, and then we have this one. I think more people are going to really interested because this is a very affordable engine. For 200 and some change, you can get one of these bone stock, and it's pretty badass bone stock. I ran it bone stock. I ran all these engines bone stock. Okay, so I know what they are stock. Now I want to see what these things are modified, drag modded. So give me a second and let me pull them all down and let's check them out real quick. Alright, hold tight. Alright people, wow, that was a little bit of a break. This takes a minute, and actually that break was a whole 24-hour break because I paused it. It was getting late, I was tired. It took a lot, and I don't want to rush into it. And again, I don't want to stay up all night. I get up at like 3 in the morning every morning, going to work about 5. So I get up a little bit early because I'm slow to get up, and I like to chill. I don't like to rush. But anyway, so this is a day later. A couple things did happen during the 24 hours. Obviously, these got pulled apart and ready. Another thing, the other wing came in. We went ahead and carbon fibered this one. I'm going to throw some more stickers on it. Those are just a couple for now. So as you can see, we'll get into the fifth scale stuff in a minute. We want to get, get back at these engines. And I want to take a look at all these and check out Lance's modifications and explain some stuff to you. So you can obviously see the difference between the DBXL wing and the 5B wing. The 5B wing is deeper as far as that way, but the DBXL one is a little bit wider. But it looks cool. So anyway, I wish I could, it sucks because I waste those, well, not wasted, but this one's toasted. So this one will be a trophy up on my wall somewhere. So anyway, we're not going to worry about carbon fiber wrapping this one because I'm probably not going to use it until I destroy that one. So, and we also got the kill switch. So now, the one thing that I was waiting for, I want to put outerwears underneath the case in it, but for now, hopefully we can get that in the next couple days, so I can either get it on this video or the following video. Hopefully I can squeeze it into this video. I want to do the first ripping, and I'm not going to give you guys the boring break-in. That's just boring. I want to start doing some footage of the first ripping of the Taylor 35 in the 5B. Everybody keeps hounding me, Muggy, when are you going to run it? Because nobody is running the 35, like really running the 35 uh, in a heavier platform or a four-wheel drive. Everybody's throwing it in the Bajas, two-wheel drives, hybrids, and all that stuff. Again, that's not, in my opinion, and in a lot of other people's, including Wade Shorter. And on this video, hopefully, we're going to get into that engine and talk about it. But so I don't know. This is I want to open these engines. I've got every single one of these 10 modified engines I got from Renew. I will open them all. I told you I was going to show them to you guys in video because I want to take a look at them. I want you guys to kind of take a look at what's done, a chance for me to explain it, and more importantly, when I start running them, I'll probably put in footage of clips of these engines when I ran them stock. Because we ripped all these engines bone stock when we broke them in. So now, I want to see where they're at. Okay, all three of these reds. You know, we got the R5R Team Edition. We got the 723 Scooteroo, and then we got the 521. So anyway, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't even know what they're looking at. That's why I'm gonna explain to it. I don't do a lot of these type of wrenching videos, so to speak, because I'm too tedious, too meticulous. I'll put you to sleep because that's just the way I am. That's why I don't do a lot of wrenching videos. I'm very boring. I try to make these videos as entertaining as I can. If you guys don't like the wrenching part of it, then you can just skip through it to whatever part ever else is going to be on this video. We are going to open up the SRE Customs Modified 30.5 King motor that I got back. It is no longer a piston port. It is now a reed top end. So no more piston ports I own anymore, except for what predominantly, for now, I could say this without a doubt. This is the baddest small bore piston port out there. Baddest small bore? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. And this thing has a lot to say about it. So anyway, we already know what that does. I have video proof of it. It rips this thing out around no problem. So we're going to find out this pretty little engine here. So I'm going to call it the Princess engine because it is beautiful. I will give it that so far. Don't know the running part of it, how it performs until I start running it. But as for now, if it runs half as good as it looks, it will be a badass engine. But I'm just not sold on the, piston ports, and I don't care what anybody tells me. So anyway, let's get into Nitro. A lot of people ask me, is Nitro dead? No, Nitro is and always will be, and for me anyway, the true glory. eword does not pay my bills, might pay your bills, and fifth scale creates huge bills. You better have deep pockets if you want to get into fifth scale the right way. You can get into fifth scale. It doesn't, you don't have to spend a ton of money. Okay, but always remember the same thing applies to fifth scale as I've always said in Nitro. The more money, the less money that you spend on 8th scale Nitro, as far as engines, platforms, and so forth, more headaches you're going to have. The better quality, the race kits, the engines, the less headaches. Okay, this is the way it is. I wish it didn't have to be that way. There's no way to do it really cheap, affordable, and not have a ton of headaches. Like I said, the better quality of platforms and engines and pipes and so forth, less headaches, less issues, more fun, more running, and that's what it's all about, right? Obviously, it's all about that. Okay, so anyway, enough of my yapping. We're going to get into these badass Reds engines. Now, all of these engines are different eras. This one's probably the oldest of them. This is the old Team Edition. It's funny, of these three engines, this is the oldest technology, and yet I'm already looking at it, and it's better quality, better made, better materials than this one, which would be the next in line. And this one I can't really compare, even though it is the newest one, because it's a low-end new one. It's a lower-end, newer technology of Reds. Now this one is the DLC coating, surround, everything. And by the way, all my engines, except for the LRPs, I'm still waiting on those bearings. Those are all of my engines. I don't know, however many, all of my engines, modified engines, have ceramic bearings. Why do I run ceramic bearings? I don't know. You could ask Adam about that. And he'll tell you because the crank is riding on the bearings. So if it's riding on the bearings, you want the bearings to be as smooth as possible because everything stems off of the crank, right? The connecting rod, the piston, all of that. So if your bearings are no bueno, this thing is not going to stay centered, and when it starts not going off center, guess what? Bye-bye connecting rod, bye-bye everything. It's no bueno. Okay, so anyway, Nova Rossi himself said, the late Caesar, the founder of Nova Rossi, God rest his soul, I heard him say one time, the most important part of a nitro engine is the bearings. And that's what one of his things that he liked to do, even though he was the owner and the boss and everything, he always liked to be the one to check the bearings before the engines went out. That was his thing because he knew how important they were. And how many times have I had bearings go out and connecting rods take a shit? Many times. Your connecting rod, 9 out of 10 times, will take a crap because your bearings are going out. Now, whether it's the bearings, what happens is the reese that holds, or the ring, the bearing ring that holds the bearings in place, when those start going out, that's when the bearings aren't in their normal place, and then the bearings are off centered, and then there you go. So anyway, let's start out by looking at the Reds R5R Team Edition. Now it has a completely different head. This is the way that they used to, and I wish they so would, because these have one of the baddest button heads. Now this button head, check that out. Compared to that one, no comparison. And even this is a newer one. Yeah, it's nice, plain Jane. But I mean, come on. Light 7075 billet aluminum. Ventilated for better airflow. They don't make, these engines were way better made. And even this, look, it's even got a seal in it. Here predominantly is a $600-$700 or whatever these were when they came out. It doesn't even have any kind of seal in it. There's no dust seal in this. This one, you can't really say much because, again, even though it's a newer technology, the only thing really that you can see that's newer about it is the carburetor. It has around this, it has a thing to keep the booty from leaking. Okay? These two don't. But still, that doesn't really make it perform any better. So anyway, as far as you look at the blocks, these blocks are pretty similar. Okay, obviously this one's a little bit bigger. And I notice there's this kind of, I think that's how it was stock. A lot of the Reds, you can see these machine marks around the top. So, let's go through these. So the head obviously is different. The Scooteroo heads are sunk in, as you can see. This one, the R5R Team Edition, isn't. Beautiful looking head though, man. I love these Reds heads. Got the louvers in it, lightweight. It's pretty low center too. There you go, RCR modified, baby. Carburetor. These carburetors are all three different. I trip out. This carburetor is different from this one on the 723, and it's obviously different from this one on the 521. So anyway, DLC coated. Love these diamond backplates. These things are so nice. The Reds backplates. Button head, that carburetor, you know, no stupid metering mid needle. These carburetors can be finicky, but once you get them dialed in, they're money. Here's the sleeve. R5R Team Edition. Lance doesn't do a lot of fanging and all that. That's not where the power is. But as you can see, he did some little bit of porting there. Piston. It's broken in, remember. Break-in has nothing to do with the modification. Now I didn't really notice anything on the piston except for inside. I know he mills out the pistons, lightens them up. You can kind of see a little bit of the machine work in there. Connecting rod, nothing big. Now here's where all the work's done right here. You guys know that. You can see where the timing windows are opened up. Now as far as the crank itself, and a little bit there, tiny on the end, nothing really there, and then inside of there, slight, a little bit. This has 2 slugs in it. It's already ramped, so he didn't need to do that. But yeah, most of the cuts are right in there, so that's that. There's the block. Block is nothing big. Ceramic bearings. Looks like there was some kind of milling inside there. I know sometimes he does the exhaust port, but that looks pretty normal. So there's the R5R. Now the 723 Scooteroo. Now, like I said, limited. They only made 50 of these in the entire planet. This carburetor is completely different. Now, I've never had any problem with these HCXs. Now, I know the new ones, they went back instead of the side needle. Even the old one. Look at the old Team Edition. Straight up and down. This one is the only of the 3. Well, my other 2 or 3 that I have, or other 3 or whatever, have the side. The top end, the high end needles on the side. And see, here's the new one, the 521. Which is the newest. See, they went back to that. Some people say there was tuning issues with this carburetor. I've never had any issues with them. I think this one has a 7.0 Venturi. We're going to have to change that to a 9. I think I have a 9. It reminds me, I need to order some red Venturis. I mean, you're paying $10 or $15 for a Venturi, man. Everything just went through the roof. But as you can see, look, this part is not insulated. That's aluminum. The other 2 carburetors, Red's carburetors, look, insulated. This one, insulated. So anyway, head, 723. Button head, not much to look at. Again, diamond back plate, DLC coated. I love that. Here's the sleeve on the 723. Now it looks to this one, looks like he really, I mean, if you compare that into 723, but look, compare the 2. Let me put these together. Compare the 2 exhaust ports. I don't know if you guys can see those. Big difference. Look at that. It's Team Edition. Look at that. That thing's huge. I'm telling you, man. I can't. This 723, it was already pretty impressive stock. It is definitely, knowing what Lance did, the work he did to it, this thing is going to be nasty. So, again, there's not a lot on the sleeves. Okay. Piston. 723 piston. It's got some carbon starting to build up. It's pretty new. Still. It's maybe got a gallon. If that. And you can tell the wear on it. Looks like he did some lightning in there, and I think he looks like he cut the piston a little bit. Crank, not much to look at. What else? We forget anything? Oh, most important thing. Now this, he didn't touch the end of it because it's DLC coated, so you'll be able to tell where he touched anything. This whole crank is DLC coated. 2 slugs. This, again, this is the 723 Scooteroo. So he didn't do anything in here. It's already ramped, but you can tell where he cut into the timing. So you could see where he cut there. So there's the crank. It's a nice crank, man. DLC coated. And the block. Ceramic bearings, front and rear. Not much milling in there. It's weird. All the Reds have these. I think all of them do. They have that. Oh, see, well, this Team Edition doesn't. Look. There's none of those machine marks. Now look at this one, the 723. And then look at the 521. Same thing. See those machine swirls? Anyway. I never noticed that. Can you guys see that? Either, yeah, there's some kind of silicone ring inside there where the carburetor slides into. Ceramic bearings. So there you go, 723. Now, this is where I seen a lot of stuff done to. Like, he modded the hell out of this. This little engine is going to be nasty. So let's start, obviously, with the head. It's a pretty nice head for a $200-something engine, and then you put $100 or whatever getting it modified. So you're spending, like, let's just say $325, which is pretty cheap for a badass, full-on drag modded .21 Reds engine. Now, will it be as bad as my R5R Team Edition? I don't know. We'll find out. 521 RCR modded, baby. So there's that. Carburetor. Like I said, this carburetor is the newer of the carburetors. It's got the old, the new, or the old, new, whatever you want to call it, the regular high needle. Okay. The back plates, these aren't DLC coated. They're still nice. Billet aluminum, but it's not DLC coated. Button head. This one's got, I don't know what the shim is, but got a shim in it. Now my R5R Reds that Lance modified, it's got a shim underneath here in the inside. So here's the sleeve. A little bit. But again, not a lot. Not a lot done. Piston. This piston also looks like it was cut. And you can see it looks like there's some kind of lightning or milling going on in there. And look at the top of this one. Can you guys see that? He milled the top of the head of this. Now, what that does, from what I understand, it just makes the braking a little bit easier. It's pretty sick, though. I love it when he mills the head like that, the piston head like that. There you go. And now let's check out the crank. Again, I think this one is crank filled, but you could obviously see where he really cut into those. Side a little bit, a little here, a little there, and bam! I don't know if you guys can see that. See that little, the way he did that? Like, he really cut into this crank. So, there's that, the block. Ceramic bearings, front and rear. And other than that, not much. So there you go, people. There is the Reds lineup. All modified by RC Renew. Lance Heidemann, shout out to Lance. These engines look badass, and I can't wait to run them. Now, I don't know where I'm going to run them. I'm thinking I'm going to pull the, this is a stock Reds R5R. I did a little work to it, but nothing major. I think I want to throw the Reds 521. Or, you know what? I was thinking 723 on a Truggy. Lance told me, if you want a badass, two baddest engines that I have that will be perfect in buggies, like even badasser than 21s, are the 723, this one, Reds, and the .25 Roma. So, next coming up, I think we're going to open up the .25 Roma, and then we'll open up the Triton, because he reworked that one. It's no longer got a race mod, it has a drag mod. And I don't know how anybody would overheat a Triton engine. I've ran it in pretty much all the, my Mugen Truggy, Techno Truggy, I've ran it in here, ran it in buggies. I have never had a heating issue. Now, it's either your tune, or it's your fuel, or you're just not getting ventilation, wherever you're, whatever vehicle you're running. I've never had a problem with it. If your engine doesn't run more than 350, I wouldn't even worry about it. So, 250 to 300 is not abnormal. So, it all depends on where you live. So, anyway, that's that. So, now we are going to look at, I got to clear all this out of the way, and we are going to, I might pause this and continue this, because by the time you guys see this video, it'll be a link of videos of an hour or so of everything put together, and I got to do the editing. So, I might pause it again here, and then when we go to do the unboxing of the SRE Customs, because I really want to look at that, but I am so tired, man. And it's already, what, West Coast time? It's like 9 o'clock. And I got to get up, like I said, at 3 o'clock. So I'm probably just going to put these engines back together, to be honest with you. We're going to pause it right here. And this video will continue. And we will go over the 5B. Well, you know what? Let's just take a look at it real quick. We might not get to the unboxing because I want to spend a little bit of time with that. But let me give you a quick look at the 5B. We are going to run it with these tires on here. Okay, because I'm going to break it in on the road. That's one reason that I might not have to wait for, because it might not be for a few more days till I get the outerwear for the underneath the engine. So I might run it without, but I'm definitely not running this thing off-road or in the grass or wherever without outerwears underneath the case. So this thing here, I did receive a brand new one during the pause of the last part of this video. So here's a brand new one. This one came off of the OBR 34 reed. I'm going to do the same thing to this one as that one. I got to figure out still how to, because it'll bolt into the back, but I got to figure out how to secure the front. So anyway, we're going to carbon fiber this. We did already carbon fiber that, so there's the wing. I use carbon fiber wrap. If you guys want to know the part number of it, here it is. This is the best stuff that you could use, in my opinion. 4D CF Black. It's by, I guess it's called Easy Auto something. Let me get the name of it. Easy Auto Wrap. Okay, Easy Auto Wrap. I think that's the part number. CO72. Anyway, if you need further information on that, you can hit me up. So anyway, that's what I use on a lot of my stuff, the chassis, everything to protect it. So anyway, Taylor 35 is in here. Let me see if I can get this off. Okay. Oh, and now that I have the kill switch, which I wasn't going to run without it, but that thing, just look at that thing, how beautiful it is. This is one, I mean, my OBR Signature 34 is sweet looking too. But there's just something about this, the head, I think, is what makes the whole engine. His billet is like, Taylor's billet is killer. The Fiddle Racing, the only thing I'm worried about it, if you guys look at that, look how high that sets. Usually, this on my 34 sits down a little bit lower. I don't know if that's going to be an issue. It's kind of in the center, but it's a little bit high on it. But anyway, the Olamat pipe is on there and looking sweet. And I bet it's going to sound badass on this Taylor 35. Running the 990 Reester tail. Also, I am running the, take this off, I'm going to run the Power Stack. I haven't tried any of the other ones. I've only ran Power Stacks and then the DDM one. But I think I'm going to have to try the Bartolone, you know, or one similar, Glory Hole, whatever the hell you want to call it. But I love this. This thing, you will not get any dirt. Look at that. It's designed to lock and seal on those ridges. So, matter of fact, I need to order me another triple stage filter. So anyway, that's what we're going to run on there. Gearing is going to be the same. Clutch is the same. 9500 UFC clutch and spring. And we're running the stock 5B gearing. I can't remember what it is. I think it's 58. And we're running 21. I think that's a 21 pinion on there. So anyway, we're going to install the kill switch. Hopefully my outerwear comes. It might not. It's already the end of the week. I want to run this thing this weekend. One of my brat brothers wants to do some ripping, so I might let him wrap this thing around just for a minute. But yeah, that OBR pipe is looking pretty sexy, and so is this engine. So we're gonna see. The only thing also too is I got to figure out this, because it's made, this linkage is made for read. I think I might be able to just back this out, pull it back in, or if I have to, I have an extra one. This one's kind of getting a little tweaked anyway. I'm going to replace it, so I might, if I have to, just custom cut it. I'm going to cut it so it goes back because it's too far forward right now. So anyway, other than that, just got to put the kill switch in, mount everything in, set the endpoints for this thing, and she'll be ready to break in. I'm not going to bore you with the break-in. The footage, if you do see some footage on this video, it will be full ripping it. So we're going to see what, it's not going to be in the grass or on, it's going to be on road, but we'll be able to tell. It's going to have to pull the weight of this fat thing, this 38-pound pig right here. That's why I'm saying, if you want to really test this Taylor engine, this 35 piston port, it needs to be, or any engine in my opinion, needs to be put in a heavy 4-wheel drive vehicle. There ain't no 2-wheel drive. 1 million in the center, 500 rear, 500 in front. 38-pound piggy. We're going to see if this thing, Taylor 35, has any balls, or has enough balls. It has balls, I know that. We're going to see if it has the balls to rip this thing. So, nothing's mounted in, it's just kind of setting in there. So, I got to set up my gear mesh and all that good stuff, so. But, she should be pretty nasty. I can't wait to fire up. Then, this thing is going to be going the SRE Customs modified. It's now a not a reed case, but a reed top end. It's going to be put back in here, same setup as it had before, Bartolom pipe and all, and then we'll start testing pipes. We've got the Olamat pipe to test. We've got the RC Max to test. I might see if I can give it a victory. We'll throw the victory in there too and see who makes the baddest small bore pipe. As far as this is different. The only other person that makes a pipe for this, OBR makes one now. I talked to Dan at OBR. And he has the new 5B pipes and the Baja pipes. So, anyway, I think that'll do it for now. We'll see if we got time to squeeze in more. So I'm going to pause this for right now, and when it picks up again, we're going to dig into that engine, check it out, and we're going to see what Wade talked about. From what he told me, and I'll let you in on this, fill you in on this to kind of let you guys marinate on the situation with this engine. He texted me and said, it was a 29 head that someone put a +2 crank and custom cut piston. So I was able to put my own custom pop-off piston, and I put a cylinder reed, DGI, and it's reed ported the engine. Put a new ring in, gaskets and seals. Should be a good engine. Sorry, my computer will not accept. Okay, so anyway, that's what he's done to it. So we'll get more into that on the next segment of this video. I should be able to squeeze in another 15 minutes. I'm just really tired, people. Catch you in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Well, that was a long second or minute. What up, people? Actually, that was a whole another 24 hours. So this video, it's taken me a long time because I only have a certain amount of time as far as when I get home. I just don't have a lot of time. I'm working a lot. So anyway, this video, by the time you guys get it or watch it, will probably be already at least a week or more past. Who knows? I mean, I'm only doing videos maybe once every couple weeks or once a week. I'm just really busy. I got a lot of stuff going on. I've got so many irons in the fire that the fire's already been put out. But I want to talk about what the title of this video, because during making this, a lot of times I don't come up with the title of my videos or what to call it until later. But obviously, when you see this title, unless I change it, sometimes I do that too, is Nitro still the glory? And the answer to that is, for me, yes. But it all depends on who you ask. Okay? It'll always be nitro. I mean, if you look around in my cave, nitro, 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 nitro and fifth scale, nitro, 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 obviously tons of nitro. I mean, modified engines coming out my wazoo. Okay, but there is slowly but surely fifth scale. And I probably will make I probably will 2 more maybe fifth scales. That's it. By that time, God willing, hopefully I'll be in my new nitro cave, which is another reason I'm working so hard and working a lot of overtime. I'm trying to pack up some coin between all this stuff and, you know, trying to save. It's kind of hard because I obviously have a really bad habit to get into my own or bigger place. Okay, because this, obviously, I'm running out of room. I eat, sleep, breathe, crap, nitro, which is cool, you know, but I need more room. In order for me to continue to grow my fleet, arsenal, whatever you want to call it, of RCs, fifth scale and nitro, I need more room. So anyway, this video is just a quick update. Right off on the tail end of this video, you will be seeing, as promised, the first fire of the Taylor 35, the break-in. We're also going to fire up for the first time and get going the RCR modded LRP .30. That will be a badass. And for shits and giggles, I'm bringing this one. I might run it, I might not. We'll see. This is the RCR modded .28 in the Mugen MBX5 Pro Spec. It's all set up for the road. All these are set up for the road because we will not be going into any recreational areas or nothing. We'll be running flat concrete because we're breaking stuff in. But this thing is ready to go. Everything's mounted up. Endpoints are set. Figured out on this. You guys see, I ended up making a bracket. This to hold this in place. So, but it's only, this engine isn't going to be in here that long. We're going to rip it, send it, beat it up a little bit. Ultimately, it is going in the King Motors Baja. The 34 signature will go back in its rightful place. So, you know, its rightful owner was claiming the engine back, which is the 5B. So, I believe, and I still believe, no matter how bad this thing is going to be, badass, that this engine, being that it's one of those, piston port, nothing wrong with the piston port. Me and one of my brothers are having a debate, discussion, but if you know anything about two-strokes, whether they're whatever scale, Reed's put down more power. Now, it depends what you're talking about. Racing, drag racing, off-roading, different things. But as far as what I do, that's why I'm going to see what this thing's all about. And I hope it proves me wrong. And I'm not just going to, you know, because I own or because I'm an OBR guy, okay, going to favor the OBR. I spent a lot of money on this engine. And one of the biggest reasons was because, one, it was beautiful. I want to see what all the hype is about. And two, is because I want to see how it compares to what I believe still, until proven otherwise, that the 34, OBR 34 Signature Series Reed Case crank mod is the baddest small bore engine out there. Until somebody shows me a video of this thing getting its ass smacked by a 35 Taylor or whatever other engine, which I haven't seen yet, still looking. I told Dan about it. Dan's like, I haven't seen a video, let me know if you find one. But anyway, we're going to give it a fair shake. Okay, this thing is exactly set up the same way the 34 Reed was when it was in here. The only difference is the carburetors. This has a 990 Rooster Tail. That one has a 1242 modded. So I'm ordering another 1242 modded and a power stack. And I'm running the power stack on here. So other than that, this thing, the gearing's all the same. 21 pinion. I think the stock low C is a 58, I believe. I can't remember what it is, but Olamat pipe, the whole deal. Ready to roll. So anyway, stay tuned. You guys seen the insides of those reds? Pretty sick. we've got 1, 2, Pico. No, we already opened that one. The Pico, modified Roma, Works B5 Pro 2, the newly revised Triton, and the Alpha. We're going to see what those look like inside. So we're going to be opening up a couple more engines on the next video. And I just couldn't squeeze this in. I got to get some running footage on this video, so we probably were not going to open that and do an unboxing and go through that whole SRE Customs mod until the next video. And we'll basically go over the Baja, putting it in the Baja, setting it up, because I want to see how this thing is modified and how his mods are. And I'm going to push it and put it to the test. And I told him I will let you know. Thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm sure it'll be great, because I heard nothing but good things about Wade. But we'll find out. And we'll compare those two pistons. The one that came in it that was a race piston already, and what a stock one actually looks like. So we'll take a look at that in the next video. But anyway, enough of my yip-yapping. Nitro still is the true glory. Eword doesn't, or e-buggy, or eword doesn't pay my bills. And fifth scale creates bigger bills. So there you go. See you in a minute. We're going to fire up these two vehicles. The 5B and the Taylor 35, and the .30 RCR modded and the associated. I might even fire up both of them at the same time. Alright, people. Catch you in a few minutes or in a little bit. No, it won't be another whole day. Hopefully. Alright. See you in a minute.